Greetings. Hello, hello, duck size. Greetings. Hope you're well. Hello, greetings. Thank you, Omar. Appreciate that. Thank you. I'm now just trying to do my own music. I'm fearful of getting banned from YouTube because I was doing quite a lot of covers, and so rather than doing covers, I'm going to try and stick to doing my own music. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm not sure. SMRH. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Omar. I like the suggestion, not quite sure what the suggestion is, but I'm not against talent shows or anything like that. I just simply, it's a lack of time, really. My finances, or my wife and our finances were sadly hit by COVID, and so now I'm kind of back in the workforce. I'm only semi-retired. I just have to keep working for another maybe 6 months. I was working, yes, I actually worked yesterday. And I was also suffering from a bit of a cold, so I wanted to try and get rid of my cold. Greetings. Thank you. take a quick screenshot. Excuse me. Just going to swap over. Oh, let's have a look. The brand new harmonica. Oops. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that, but don't worry if you're almost broke yourself. I appreciate the offer, but spend it on yourself. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Dupsize. Yeah, I used to live in Alberta, so I'm aware of the time difference. For quite a few years, I lived in Edmonton. Hello, Caleb. Greetings. I'm working furiously now on lyrics when I'm not on the guitar, and when I'm not resting. I'm trying to move some lyrics through my mind and write them down on paper, trying to formulate a couple of songs, because I've gotten away with doing on YouTube. I've gotten away with doing covers, but I don't have the right kind of ability to get licensing easily for them. So it's easier for me to actually try and work on a couple of songs and produce my own music on here. Otherwise, I could end up being banned from YouTube. They have quite a different agreement with the music companies. Then TikTok has paid big time for a lot of what they call mechanical licenses. A lot of the songs are already pre-licensed on TikTok, not so much on YouTube. So I've got to be careful that I don't infringe on copyright. Thank you so much again. Have a good rest. So I'm in the key of E flat at the moment. Oops. Yes, I lived in Edmonton, a little bit of time in the USA, but mainly in Edmonton, and I was there, let's see, between about 1984 to about 1985, 1986 to 1995. I left and came back to New Zealand. Hello, Rick. Thank you so much. I'm just going to have myself a little break. It's lunchtime here for me, so the wife's been good enough to do up a lovely pumpkin cauliflower soup. So I'm just off to have some lunch. What is the time? Yeah, it's just almost 2 p.m. So I'll be back again shortly. Thank you so much. Be safe out there. Thank you for your support. Brilliant. Bye. Thank you.